Hey there! Welcome to Understanding Common Core Math. This video series is designed for parents and teachers who are looking to better understand the Common Core and are looking to find ways to support kids in their development of math skills. In this video, we are going to address standard K.G.B.4. This kindergarten level geometry standard deals with analyzing the characteristics of shapes and solids. The verbiage of this standard covers a lot of territory in terms of what a kindergarten student should be able to do. Let's just go through a variety of examples that illustrate how a kindergarten student might analyze and compare shapes. Here we go. Let's start with a basic shape like a triangle. If we were to ask a student to describe the characteristics of a triangle, what are some things that he or she might come up with? Well, the first thing to note is that a triangle is made up of three sides. In addition, those sides are straight. Another observation is that a triangle has three corners, or vertices. Those are probably the most important observations for your student to make about a triangle. That gets at the analysis aspect of the standard. Now, a kindergarten student should be able to make similar types of observations about other basic shapes like rectangles and squares. With a square, for instance, a kindergarten student should be able to recognize the number of sides and the number of corners. He or she should also be able to articulate the fact that the sides of a square are all equal in length. Now, by the same token, your student should also be able to compare shapes and tell why they are different. For example, if a student is given a rectangle and a square, he or she should be able to recognize that a rectangle is different than the square because the side lengths are not all the same, even though the corners are nice and right. Another way to get at the comparison aspect of the standard is to provide your student with a series of shapes and ask him or her to find the shape that is the same or different. For instance, suppose that you are given the triangle on the left. Then you are given the three triangles on the right. Which triangle in the group on the right is the same as the triangle on the left? In this case, the third triangle is the one that matches. As another example, suppose that you are given the four shapes on the screen. Which shape is different than the rest? In this case, the second shape, the rectangle, is different from the other shapes, which are all identical squares, even though their orientations have changed. The examples that we have looked at so far all involve two-dimensional shapes. Similar types of analysis and comparison can and should be done with three-dimensional solids. Let's say that your student is shown a cube. What are some things that he or she should observe about the cube? Your child might notice that all 12 edges are the same length. Your child might also notice that the cube has 6 faces that are all identical squares. He or she might observe that the cube has 8 corners or vertices. These are the basic yet very important observations to make about a cube. Here is another example. Suppose that you are given a cone and a pyramid. How do these solids compare? What are some things that are similar about the solids? Well, they both have flat bases, and the sides come to a single point. What are some of the differences? The cone has a circular base, whereas the pyramid has a triangular base. The side of the cone is curved, and the sides of the pyramid are flat. Your child might also notice that the sides of the pyramid are triangles. Cones and pyramids are treated very similarly and have a similar appearance, but the differences in the bases give them each some unique characteristics. Basically, standard K.G.B.4 boils down to a student being able to make simple observations about two-dimensional shapes and three-dimensional solids. In this video, I've used some of the fancy terminology like vertex, face, base, and so on. Although it is good to use the correct terminology when working with your child, we do not expect a kindergarten student to necessarily phrase their observations using high-tech terminology. As long as your kid can provide general descriptions and comparisons of shapes and solids, we'll be in good shape with regard to meeting this standard. I hope that this video provided some clarity about standard K.G.B.4, as well as some ideas for how to work with your child toward meeting this standard. Please leave comments if you have any questions to ask or feedback to share. I would invite you to subscribe to this channel and check out the other videos in the series if you like the content. Thanks for watching.